In the future, we will all be in space with our shadow dollars, and we will not have any problems whatsoever. We will all live under harmony, and everything will be okay. Everything will be a utopia in which we will all be together, working harmoniously to a bright and better sunny future. I'm sorry, but that is a fantasy. um, welcome to Blocked. Welcome to Blocked, okay, where I bring you back to reality. Wake up, son. Have you won yet? We're all bears now. We're all home and we're broke. Down to earth, we came crashing down. Anyways, enough of that. That's kind of coping. I have too much fun here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun. I don't mean to make fun. A lot of people are hurt. But humor is the best medicine, okay? So welcome, faithful viewer, faithful watcher, to another episode of the most beautiful, most exciting, most educational freaking shadow podcast under the sun, okay? They're under the underground, okay? We're like 3 layers underneath the deli, okay? Just don't tell anybody about her, okay? Don't tell Susan. She doesn't know, okay? She doesn't know the show exists, all right? Listen here. Tonight we're gonna talk about one topic. One topic. We're doing like 10-minute, quick hitters, okay? We're gonna go full Charlie. Not that Charlie, different Charlie. I'm talking about Penguin Zero Charlie, okay? Critical, okay? Short and sweet and to the point. We're just gonna hit them, okay? We're just gonna hit them fast, okay? So here's some news. You ready for the news? Are you ready for the news? Pause, no homo. Oh no, what happened to my news? I got rugged already on my own new show, on my own dojo. What is happening here? What happened? I don't understand. Oh, okay, we fixed it. Okay, it was a false alarm. Okay, not a rug, not a rug. Whew, I got worried. I got rugged on my own. Touche, internet. Touche. And I'm not even online. You got me good. Well, I guess I am online, but I'm not even streaming. All right, so we're going to talk about this news story right here called The SmackDown Does More Harm Than Good, okay? They're talking about regulation, the big R word, okay? Not that other R word, the big R word. What we care about is regulation. 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 The word that everybody hates, but some people like. You know, it's a little one and two, two and three. It depends on where you are. Are you on the upswing, or rather on this side? Are you on the upswing, or are you going down? If you're going down, then yeah, you're probably about that regulation right now. Maybe depends on how you came down. If it came down because of a rug, you're probably feeling a little bit okay, a little salty, and I get it. I'm not. It's not an insult. I've felt a rug before, okay, or two or three. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. All right. We're all human. We all make mistakes. Is what I tell myself every night. No, listen though. Today's subject is about this situation that's a little grim. Okay, all the way down from Reuters. Okay, shout out to Reuters by Gina Chan. Okay, what's up, Gina? How you doing? All right. So I'm gonna read this new story for you. Okay, so shout out to them. Washington. Now I'm gonna try not to. I was gonna do an African accent. Washington, June 8th. No, that's not. That's not it. That's not an African accent. That's not good. Washington, June 8th. Regulations often solve one problem while creating another. No. Such is the case with new cryptocurrency. Shouldn't have said that word. Guidelines being suggested. That's a joke, Susan. We're just talking about fun times here, okay? We're talking about games. Such is the case with the new shadow currency, shadow bucks guidelines things being suggested by the U.S. Securities and Education and Exchange Commission. The watchdog, really? The watchdog wants firms that safeguard digital assets to mark that risk on their balance sheets, with banks ending up having to hold large amounts of equity against it. That makes sense. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. That might help transparency, which the market needs. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Instead of mumbo jumbo telling people, "Hey, we got some value here," when there's no value to be had. That's kind of dirty. When people do that, I kind of think to myself, "You ain't getting none, are you?" Because I mean, you put all your creativity in this. I mean, you're not spending it elsewhere. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay. The game is very psychologically exhausting, if you will. Okay, but it would be that's me talking too much right now. But it would become too costly for legitimate lenders like Goldman Sachs to get into the market and incentivize more shadowy businesses. All right, without warning, Gary Gensler, come on, that's such a sci-fi name. That's not even real. That's like a comic book name. Gary Gensler, get back here. Uh, Gary Gensler Agency issued an accounting billing bulletin 2 months ago that recommends public companies tally the risk of safeguarding the 1.2 trillion shadow market for clients by recording it on their balance sheet, okay, as a liability at the current currency's fair market value. Most firms would need to comply starting with the second quarter financial statements. Banks would take the biggest hit. That makes sense. This new measure could trigger compliance with the Basel Committee. Read more. No thanks. Which includes the Federal Reserve. Oh, that's not good. That is definitely bad. That is definitely bad. Bad idea. Start over. Last year, the group put out recommendations that a bank would effectively have to match the amount of equity on its balance sheet with the amount of digital assets that it had, assuming 8% capital ratio. So for every $1 of shadow equity would need to increase by as much as the largest U.S. banks have even higher standards. No, as much. Oh, by as much. Though the largest U.S. banks have even higher standards. Sorry. So basically, they would have to. Okay, so they would have to, for $1 of each of their money, each of their fake tokens, equity for that would need to be increased as much as the. Okay, that kind of that's it's not that bad. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We're gonna keep going. The SEC guidance would effectively make it too costly for banks to hold shadow dollars for clients, and it has left other companies scrambling. Shadow exchange Coinbase Global had about $246 billion in customer digital assets as of March 31st, which may need to be added to its $21 billion balance sheet. Uh, no. Maybe. Depends on how you look at it. Online brokerage Robinhood Markets, Hood.o, position would double its $20 billion balance sheet, according to first quarter figures. The measure may even apply to firms that farm out custody of digital assets to third parties like Goldman. Some guardrails and more disclosures would be helpful. In the event that a shadow currency value falls, it may be difficult for a custodian holding the asset, say State Street, I've never heard of them, to sell large amounts of it. Yeah, that's true. And depending on the amount of the decline, banks like Goldman could be left holding the bag. Good. I hope you hold all the bags. I'm going to dump on you. I mean, that sounded dirty. Let me take that back. And given shadow volatility, that could create some risks. Duh. I mean, that's part of the game. Still, there is a balance, and making it completely prohibitive for banks is a bigger problem. The shadow currency market is already laden with people using the asset for dodgy transactions. I mean, that's the dollar does too. I mean, what's the difference? I mean, let's be honest. Shadowy transactions happen with the dollar too. It happens with gold. It happens with Pokemon cards. You name it, okay? You name it. You name it. All right? You name it, just like the meme. You name it. It's been used, okay? Even ammo. Even ammo has been used to money launder. If the SEC is meant to make investments safer, Measures that are so stringent that heavily regulated U.S. banks are precluded from participating does the opposite. I guess. Let me go ahead. These are opinions expressed that represent her own. Da da da. Context News. Two financial industry groups on May 27th ask the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to delay the effective date of an agency accounting bulletin on the risk of the assets. The groups are Securities Industries and Financial Markets Association and the American Bankers Association. Okay, so basically, this the fact that the Federal Reserve might be involved is really bad. That's the biggest glaring thing right here. This new measure could trigger compliance with the Basel Committee, which includes the Federal Reserve. This is not good. I mean, I guess compliance from them, I guess is fine. I don't have a problem with that itself, but anything involving the Federal Reserve is gonna be. Let's just put it this way: it's doomed to fail. It's doomed to fail. I think this is not. I mean, what happened to forking the economy? I just don't understand that. Didn't we talk about that? I thought that was a thing. Is that not a thing anymore? Is that not a thing anymore? I'm kind of confused by that. I think there's another one. There's another article we can cover real quick. We have a little bit of time left. Let me just see. Oh no, we're out of time. All right, well that's enough today. What do you think? My thoughts are this. Very simple. I think that at the end of the day, this was inevitable. Like, we were gonna have regulation. I mean, you just can't. These people will never stop. Okay, and I'm gonna say this. All right, and this is my opinion about the whole concept of even like acknowledging these people. If you want to fork the economy and you want to fork banks and you want to fork all this, you have to fork your entire society. Okay, that means education system. You need to have your own, almost your whole own culture, basically, pretty much. You're never gonna fork from these people because they're gonna impose laws on you, and those laws are enforced by what? Violence. So you need to have your own community. You need to have your own place. I mean, you need to create it and start from the bottom and build a very strong community at local level. Okay, you cannot do this via the cyberspace. It's not gonna work. I don't care what anyone says. At the end of the day, they can enforce anything they want on you. Okay, you're not the boss. You're not the boss. That's the hardest pill you need to take from this. This regulation stuff is always gonna happen, no matter what. You could literally make up a new. You can make gum today. You can make a new type of gum that could be used as its own currency, and you made your own industry, right? Your own platform where y'all trade gum with each other. But believe me, in 1 year you will see regulation on your gum. Okay, you're gonna have gum regulators. Okay, get used to that. So it doesn't matter what the object is. It doesn't matter what the idea is. It doesn't matter what the platform is. They will always enforce themselves upon you. That's why you have to have a mindset that's very much on its own kind of mindset. You have to have an independent mindset. That means away from political parties and towards your own community, creating a culture of your own, or building one with like-minded people that will stick together and that you can grow together, right? Start from home. Okay, that's what I'm going to say about that. Just remember that tidbit, and you'll do well in life. Anyways, that's it for now. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.